I have 4 local stories I want to tell you about right now. Number 1, 2 Elk Grove police officers are recovering today after a shooting. Share with us really the situation on the ground, what it's like living there amid Hamas's war with Israel. Really tackling it from both angles, as you can see those crews just encircling that warehouse.
Have you reconsidered giving the money back to PG&E that they contributed to your campaign?
No. And I'm just going to step behind the camera right now and kind of show you what's going on here. We've got fire crews right over here that are working to put out some spot fires. Yellow tape surrounds the entire block. Plane literally falling out of the sky until it crashed into a fiery mess. Flames crawling up the hillside. I've created a little snowbank behind us, and you can see more than a foot of snow. Now, this is an incredibly rare sight. I-80, one of the most busy highways in Northern California, is completely silent. A charter bus carrying students from a high school was rear-ended by a semi-truck on that Ohio highway. As fire raged toward Blaine Briggs' home, he was out here with a tractor cutting a fire break. You can see some of the evidence of that right here through the broken dirt in the ground. He was able to save his home through those efforts in that home behind me, but he owns a rental property right here, and as you can see right here, that home has been completely destroyed. As some of those evacuation orders are being lifted, we're learning tonight that many folks are returning to the comfort of their own homes, while others are returning to rubble.
Until the last minute, until we seen it coming down, right? We did a fire break, and once it got there, we were out of here.
Blaine Biggs is grateful to have a home to return to after his last-minute efforts were enough to protect it from the fire that raged through Solano County Wednesday.
Just feel relieved, but I feel the people also that lost their houses,
Though some of his Vacaville neighbors were not so fortunate, Audrey Murray had just bought this home.
So it's pretty shocking to be in this situation, knowing that this was an investment. My mom was going to be living in the main house, and she was due to move out here today.
And this is what's left of the home Art Thomas built more than 30 years ago.
We were pulling out here with whatever we could get out of the safe, whatever we had out of my office, whatever we had, personal items. I lost stuff that was on the walls from my great-grandfather.
While hundreds of homes in other buildings have been damaged and destroyed, many others have been saved.
We were up at about 3:30 and looking at the fire coming up over the hill there.
It was too close for comfort for Joe Murdaca, thankful for the efforts by firefighters.
Can't thank them enough, believe me. They've done a lot more than people think they've done.
Tonight, all evacuation orders in Vacaville have been lifted, but the fire that destroyed this home right here, that continues to burn. There are more than 1,400 firefighters now working to contain it. What are we learning about this surrender? Walk me through the process. Search continues for Danilo Cavalcante. That's the escaped killer who left a Chester County, Pennsylvania prison 12 days ago. And now officials continuing an intense manhunt. You don't even need a Red Bull because I got all the energy you need right here.
So Giacomo, we're going to be seeing more of these candidates.
Absolutely. With California being so important in the upcoming Super Tuesday primary, we can expect to see big names coming to California, big cities like Sacramento, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, showing their faces because they want your vote. Israeli soldiers claim they found an explosive device in a kindergarten located in the southern region of the Gaza Strip. Video showing Israel Defense Forces walking through the damaged and now empty kindergarten. Major breaking news update. An arrest made in a stabbing spree over in Queens, New York. That's where we find Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti on the ground with the latest. Good morning, Briella. What are we learning about the suspect? And that's when firefighters actually fight fire with fire. Become completely impassable. Pouring concrete, helicopters flying in and out. I've covered a lot of fires in the past, but the difference between this one and others is the destruction that we're seeing right now. The energy there today seems a lot different than it's been in the past 13 days or so.
I'd agree. I'd say that's a perfect assessment.
They're currently being tested for coronavirus via test kits that were flown into the ship sometime this morning. Now, that ship is about 100 miles off the coast of San Francisco, and it's leaving, this whole situation is leaving some 3,500 passengers and crew members in a holding pattern.
Now it's just numbing. It's just trying to process this information and see what our life holds in the next couple weeks.
The gravity of the situation setting in for those aboard the Grand Princess after 21 people on the ship tested positive for coronavirus via kits flown in Thursday, including 2 guests and 19 crew.
I was worried mainly because my parents are elderly. I'm traveling with them. They're from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And my mom has asthma, so yeah, I'm very worried if she would get ill, what might happen.
The Grand looks more like a ghost ship tonight as guests have been confined to their rooms. Images from passengers show empty hallways and barren common areas. This is the ship, which is currently barred from docking, moves in circles about 60 miles off the coast of San Francisco.
All passengers and crew will be tested for the coronavirus. Those that need to be quarantined will be quarantined. Those that require additional medical attention will receive it.
Vice President Mike Pence announcing today a plan to bring the ship into a non-commercial port sometime this weekend, though details are scant.
The system that's in place, our government, the CDC, we feel is doing a remarkable job.
I got sick, drastically, I mean bad.
Sacramento's Margie Hartle's been in self-quarantine for the last 2 weeks after returning from the Grand's previous cruise to Mexico. That's the voyage that set off red flags for the virus after 2 former passengers tested positive for coronavirus. One has died. Hartle has growing concerns of a statewide outbreak.
1,800 people that left that ship, where some of them might be infected, and they're living in the Sacramento area, Placerville, Yolo County, Bay Area. They're walking around.
Now, no one aboard that ship is being allowed to get off until those test results come in. That's expected sometime tomorrow.
All of these photos were taken throughout my entire life in every country that I've been to.
19-year-old Lexi Alford of Nevada City, California, has been traveling the world since she was a young girl.
I've traveled to every country in Europe, almost every country in South America.
How did you get started into traveling the world?
So my mom started a travel agency when she was 19. And my family has taken me traveling with them my whole life.
The bright young woman graduated high school at 16, earned her associates from Sierra College by 18. Not knowing exactly what she wanted to do next, she took a gap year to travel, and then it hit her.
I know that the world is a changing place, and it's more open-minded than ever towards women pursuing untraditional paths. So I'm doing something that hasn't been done before.
Now her passion for experiencing the world has turned into a dream. She hopes to become the youngest person to have visited all 196 sovereign countries. So far, she's reached 125. The most recent person to break that Guinness World Record was 24-year-old Englishman James Asquith in 2013.
What's your favorite stamp?
Favorite stamp? Okay, here, this one. The one of Palau is they made you sign it as a decree of respecting their country.
Wow. While she admits she simply loves to travel, she also wants to share this message with the world.
Everywhere in the world, you can find kindness, despite the political and societal instabilities, despite what the media tells you. There are kind people everywhere. And
Go ahead, I'll follow you.
She's dumped her life savings into her travels and her most recent trip through more than 20 Asian countries. Still, she said traveling internationally can be done on a shoestring budget.
Like, how are you able to do this? How have you been able to save up enough money and organized it enough to be able to travel everywhere that you have?
Been training to be a travel consultant since I was 14. I've been working full-time as a travel consultant since I was 15, and I've been saving for the gap year since I was 12.
Alfred begins the next leg of her journey through the Caribbean in May. Once reaching her goal of visiting every country in the world, she plans to write a book and produce a film about her travels.
These are from Africa.
In Nevada City, Giacomo Luca, ABC 10 News.
This is from Turkey. Did you get that in Istanbul, or? I'm not even sure what city that was.